Okay, good evening all. My name is Dr. Vikram Uttam Pandit, and I am with Professor Navnath Kamble. Welcome you all for this today's just an introductory lecture for this CSIR exam. We are trying this to take this exam for offline mode, offline lectures. Because as we know, or as you also know, that there are a lot of limitations, or we can say now this COVID pandemic is now again coming in picture. So that's why we have decided to go for this kind of an online lectures. Now, just in today's lecture, what we are trying to complete or what we are trying to discuss with you is that this NET exam, it's a syllabus. Okay, what type of topics are important from the given syllabus, and what type of books you have to refer for getting good quality of marks or good quality of result. Then after that, I'll just show you a few slides for this today's presentation, and then Navnath sir will show you the exact syllabus what we are going to cover in this crash course within a month, and then we will go for actual lectures from tomorrow on. Okay, so just now I'll share my presentation or this. There are only 5 to 6 slides, and I will not take more time than 5 minutes. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, my name is Dr. Uttam Pandit. I have qualified this CSIR and UGC-NET 3 times. I also qualified the GATE exam. Okay, MSc from Ferguson College in organic chemistry. I have my YouTube channel. So if you have a link, you can go, or I will just share this in this meeting also, where I'm just putting the all these chemistry related videos also. So along with me, Navnath sir is there. My one of my friend Vivekananda Javade is also there. So when we try to conduct such type of lectures, we have very good result that so many students they have cleared this kind of an exam, and some of my students now they are all like doctors and professor, and they are working in so many reputed colleges. They have also qualified with the pattern or with the way that we are telling them. So as you all know that this NET exam is being conducted by CSIR and UGC. So both are the same agencies, though their name and duties are different, but they are going to give you the similar type of fellowship. The CSIR, when you have a CSIR rank or UGC rank, that means there is always a same amount of fellowships given from both the agencies, but the scoring marks for CSIR are little bit more than this UGC, and there is a one third stream, or we can say third thing is that there is LS, lecturership. So if you qualified all these exams, the NET exam, you can go for lecturership anywhere in India. So as far as our knowledge that this kind of syllabus distribution is there in CSIR exam or any paper, we will discuss this later on in more detail. So what basically I want to share you with that, if you are master in organic chemistry, or if you are having a analytical chemistry, or even a physical or inorganic chemistry, what you have to do, you have to study your master perfectly, and then you have to choose one subject more. That if you are from organic chemistry, go for inorganic chemistry or physical chemistry. Okay, so only organic chemistry will not be able to, or will not be sufficient to clear this kind of exam. If you have organic, go for inorganic. If you have inorganic, go for organic at least. Because many of the students they find that physical chemistry is not that much simple. So this is just I'm in the short way I'm going to tell you that if you are good in any of the following branches. You have to do a good quality of uh, uh, syllabus study, or what we can say study, and then you have to go for the next subject. For inorganics, there are number of books. We are going to share you all these PDFs with you, all these books. So these books are very, very important. You might have heard about these books. These are very important, and lot of things uncovered from this book only. So I'll not spend more and more time, because it is going to be covered in the Navnath sir's talk. So number of topics are also important. In the organic chemistry, there is no any alternative to qualify this kind of exam without these books. Okay, so these are just the names of book. We are going to share all the PDF with you. There are few topics, important topics are there, and in physical chemistry, just 2 3 books are there, and only limited kind of syllabus patterns are there, or very small topics are there, which will give you the good quality of marks. So there are a lot of things that we are going to cover in this crash course. So again, this is the channel. I think many of you are there in this channel. If you are not there, just take this number 8623039808. This will be my WhatsApp number, and just message me. I will share you the link for this group, and you can join this group. So this will be easy to share a lot of things with you. Okay, so this is just an introductory part. Now I hand over this platform to Navnath sir. He will share few things related to CSIR exam. Navnath sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good evening, all of you. Are you getting my voice? Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here we are going to start a crash course related to your NET CSIR examination, that is chemical sciences, our subject. So in last previous 11 years, since from 2011, the exam was conducted in online mode. Till date, it is computer-based test from 2018, and next paper also you will have from CBT. Okay. But what is the important thing that we have? Say, for example, your examination will be conducted within 1 month. That is, I think 29th January. Is it correct? 29th
Yes.
January.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All of you fill the form. All of you fill the form correctly.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So exam previously the exam. Okay. Previously, the exam was conducted by CSIR and UGC. Now there is one agency, National Testing Agency, NTA, okay, which is going to conduct the exam. They are going to conduct exam only. Okay, so all of you have filled the form from that website, NTA. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay, so what is the important thing? We have limited time. We have 1 month. And within that 1 month, we have to finish maximum syllabus. We have to cover all the things which are very important from exam point of view. Okay. So all of you have a syllabus copy. If you don't have, sir, can you please share the syllabus copy? If you are not getting anything, and if you want to discuss all those things in Marathi, you can tell us. No problem. We will discuss in Hindi, Marathi, or in English if you want. Sir, share. Are you sharing, sir? Okay. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Very good. So have you seen the how many chapters are there in syllabus?
हाँ जी सर.
Okay, so
Total
in your,
6.
okay, total 39 chapters are there, and 5 chapters from your interdisciplinary subjects like environment and nanotechnology and research methodologies and all. So what we are going to discuss today, we are going to see which topics are very important, which topics we are going to cover in next 20-25 days, and rest of the part, whatever we are suggesting you, you have to prepare it on your own side, as you all are qualified, or those are some students are they are in MSc too, so they have a little bit more knowledge regarding such topics. So those all are clear, no problem. You can do some points which we are going to suggest on your own. Okay, so see the syllabus of your inorganic chemistry. There are 12 chapters total. Okay, so the first chapter is chemical periodicity. uh, Anybody knows chemical periodicity? Have you heard about it? Have you studied it? Yes, in your MSc part 1, third year BSc. Okay, so for this chapter, this is very basic chapter, and this chapter is you can find in JDL book. Have you heard about JDL book? Inorganic chemistry, JDL.
Yes sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
mark this chapter, and we have to read this chapter from JDL book. Along with that JDL book, you can read it in your UG books. Okay, so we are not this chapter is very easy, and especially you have to prepare it. So that's why I will not comment on this chapter too much. Now the second chapter, that is VSCPR theory. This chapter you can write in short that VSCPR, it is very important chapter, which is very important. And in VSCPR you can find in your section B, in your section B of CSIR examination, there are 4 to 5 questions from VSCPR. 4 to 5 questions. So from VSCPR exam point of view, whatever the questions are there, we are going to discuss, which is very important. So mark the VSCPR as important chapter, or you, in your language you can mark it as a very important. Okay. Now next chapter, that is concepts of acid base HSAB concept. So this chapter we are not going to discuss that much. If you have time, you can read that chapter in your UG books and in your JDL, but don't waste too much time for studying this chapter. You can, if you have knowledge sufficient, you can do it on your own. So HSAB concept we are not going to see, but we are going to suggest the question bank or questions related to this chapter. Okay. Now the next chapter, that is main group elements. Almost all of you in your MSc part 1, you have studied the main group elements. Okay, allotropes, their synthesis, structure, bonding, and their applications. So in your syllabus, the C part, which includes the question of 4 mark in main group elements, this chapter contains all the group elements. And group, if you want to study the group elements, there is no such book which can give complete information, but from my side JDL is the best book. JDL, along with that you can use Sriver and Atkins for inorganic main group elements. Okay, important thing is what we are going to discuss the bonding. We are going to discuss the bonding in this chapter. So mark it as in so we are going to discuss the bonding and its structures and their bonding. We are going to discuss on this point. You can find in every exam there is 1 or 2 questions. There are 1 or 2 questions, structure and bonding. So we are going to discuss the structure and bonding from main group elements, which will require some time, but within time we will try to finish it. Okay, that is how you can understand each and everything. Next chapter, that is transition elements and coordination compounds. Transition elements and coordination compound. This is the very core chapter from the inorganic chemistry. Whatever coordination chemistry you are going to study, you have seen till date, it is very important. Coordination chemistry having highest weightage in your CSIR exam. Coordination compounds, transition elements, they are very important. And for this, I will prefer Ajay Kumar, coordination chemistry by Ajay Kumar. Have you heard about Ajay Kumar's book? Ajay Kumar, please let me know which books you know. Have you heard about Ajay Kumar? Okay, so I will share the soft copy of this book. Please go through that book, and you can find that in last previous 4-5 examination, the questions are coming from this book. At least 3 or 4 questions you can find from that book, Ajay Kumar, Inorganic, especially coordination chemistry by Ajay Kumar. So we are going to discuss whole chapter. Chapter number 5, we are going to discuss everything in transition elements and coordination chemistry. Sir, my voice is clear or not? Is it audible, sir?
Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. Go to the syllabus, sir. The next chapter, that is inner transition elements. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss the spectral and magnetic properties. Okay. Spectral and magnetic properties, which is very important. I have seen that structural and magnetic properties, for they have asked many questions from that point. So we are going to discuss the inner transition elements, in which we are going to discuss the spectral and magnetic properties. Okay, that is very important thing from my side, as I have seen the number of exams. I have qualified 2-3 times GATE examination. I was preparing for the ONGC and all those exams. In that at that time, I have seen that the inner transition metals, especially, they are having a weightage of 10 to 15 marks in your CSR exam. So we are going to cover this chapter. Next, organometallic compounds. Students, am I audible? I'm just going to tell the name of one book, Mizler and Tar. Have you heard about it? Mizler and Tar. Mizler and Tar. Mizler Tar. Have you heard about it? Okay. If you don't know this book, I will share the soft copy of this book also. And this is very important book. From you can find that the organic, metallic, inorganic chemistry questions coming from this book. If you have the papers, you can find that organometallic question is there, and if you want to check the answer of that question, you have to go to the Mizler and Tar. You can easily find that. Okay, so for this, we are going to discuss the organometallic compounds, in which we are mostly we are going to study the synthesis, which is the most important part. Synthetic cycles, which I have seen. Okay, all the reactions are catalytic, so synthesis part is very important. Next, sir, cages and metal clusters. And this is very you can use number of tricks. You can find the number of tricks for cages and metal clusters, just to calculate the metal bonds, just to calculate the valence electrons and everything. And the books you can use J.D. Lee's, River Atkins, Ajay Kumar's. Okay, yeah, and in chapter number 7, organometallic compounds, Ajay Kumar's one more book is there, organometallic compounds by Ajay Kumar. In the same chapter, you can in the same book you can find the cages and metal clusters. So we are going to refer that book. Okay. Next, the chapter number 9, that is analytical chemistry, separation, spectroscopic, electro and thermoanalytical methods. I think this chapter we are not going to discuss that much. Just in this chapter, one of my friend is there. He will tell you the some analytical part, which I think this part has not that much weightage in your examination. The 10th number chapter, that is bio inorganic chemistry. Bio-inorganic chemistry is very, very important chapter. After your coordination, you can find 20 marks question in your exam from bio-inorganic chemistry. And the bio-inorganic chemistry, recently the new trends are coming with the research, and because of the research, this bio-inorganic chemistry has highest weightage in your CSR examination. Because say for example, now we are suffering from corona crisis. So biology and inorganic chemistry, some drugs are they are developing which can inhibit the growth of coronavirus. Say for example, your COVID-19, you are saying Delta plus, and now one of them is Omicron. Okay, so the bioinorganic chemistry is very important. We are going to cover each and every point from this bioinorganic chemistry. I think the book, sir have shown that book, the name of the book, Hui, the book, and Ajay Kumar. Both the books we are going to see, we are going to study, we are going to analyze the books. We will try to gather everything at a single page. Okay, so bioinorganic chemistry is a very important chapter from my side, which I personally feel that the bioinorganic chemistry will helps you to secure your result. Okay, because it is straightforward, no more complications are there, but just extra reading can save you. Okay, next chapter, characterization, that is spectroscopy. Okay, NMR, EPR, UV visible, NQR, MS. So this part is very important, but in exam they will ask only one or two questions. Next question, that is next point, that is nuclear chemistry. In nuclear chemistry also we are not going to discuss that much, just we are going to see the isotopes and their uses. Chapter number 11, we are just going to see the EPR and Mosber. Okay, which is very important, EPR and Mosber. The problems related to these 2 points we are going to discuss, as they are very important. Frequently they are asking questions based on your Mosber and EPR, which I have seen number of times, if you are considering only inorganic chemistry. Okay, now next. So this is all about your inorganic chemistry syllabus. So in your inorganic chemistry syllabus, sir, we are going to discuss the VCPR. We are going to discuss the main group elements in which structure and bonding. We are going to discuss the every point of the chapter number 5, that is transition elements and coordination chemistry. Again, in your inner transition metals, we are going to discuss the spectral and magnetic properties. Chapter number 7, that is organometallic compounds, in which we are going to see the cycles, that is synthesis cycles. Then cages and clusters, we will try to understand the valence electrons and all those things. Then the most important chapter, that is bioinorganic chemistry. Okay, and the rest of part, EPR and Mosber, we will conduct the problems, how to solve the problems. Okay, now next, physical chemistry. In physical chemistry, mostly we are not going to conduct too much chapters. In physical chemistry, chapter number 5. Okay, just sir, go to the chapter number 3, term symbol, atomic structure and spectroscopy, and term symbols. Okay, so we are going to discuss these term symbols. Term symbols, in every exam they will ask 1 or 2 questions related to this point, that is term symbols. Okay, we are going to discuss this, or we are going to study in detail. Then chapter number 5, chemical applications of group theory. So group theory, we are going to discuss each and every point, your point groups, your character tables, your selection rules. So chapter number 5 will be covered in all manner, because for group theory they have weightage of 20 to 25 marks. In section C they will ask 2 questions from group theory, and in section B they may ask 5 or 6 questions. So that's why the group theory is very important. So mark it as very important. And for group theory we have a special guest teacher, that is Dr. Vivekanand Javale. He will conduct the group theory, and he is very good at that point. You can find that the every questions from CSIR-NET, he will easily give us the tricks again. Okay, sir, next chapter number 6. Next chapter.
Someone raised the hand. I think we will give you time to ask any query. Okay.
Okay, we will
Just
discuss later. Let me finish this and then we will discuss everything. Okay. Then molecular spectroscopy, for this, the book, the name of the book is Banwell. You can read if you have too much interest. You can read that. From molecular spectroscopy, the small questions they are asking. But let me discuss with Dafal sir. He is going to conduct this molecular spectroscopy. He will tell us some basics regarding this. So we are just going to discuss some part of the molecular spectroscopy. Then chemical thermodynamics. So in chemical thermodynamics, the mostly questions are coming from Maxwell relations. Line to Maxwell relations. Okay. So this Maxwell relation is very important, and thermodynamics of ideal and non-ideal gases and solutions. This part is very important. This will be conducted by a physical expert, and we are going to discuss this part. Okay, because 2 marks questions are there which are coming from that point. Maxwell relation, ideal, non-ideal gases and their solutions. So we will discuss this chemical thermodynamics. Next, we are not that much discussing the statistical thermodynamics, but the chapter number 9, that is electrochemistry, we will discuss all points from this electrochemistry. Most equation, then Corliss law and applications. They're asking so many questions from electrochemistry. Okay. Then chapter number 10, that is chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics we are also going to discuss. We will try to cover the chemical kinetics completely. Next, sir, colloid solid. Okay, go to the chapter number 12, that is solid state. You can see that the solid state chapter is very small. They are giving us like crystal structure, Bragg's law, application, band structure of solids. But solid state has very high weightage. You can find that the 15 marks questions coming from the solid state. So solid state we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, this is all about your physical chemistry. So for physical chemistry, you have to refer Puri Sharma Pathania, and again for physical chemistry, Banwell, and for your solid state and this small chapters, chemical kinetics, thermodynamics, there is one book, Modern Methods of Physical Chemistry, ABC of Chemistry, sorry. So ABC of Chemistry, which is by O.P. Agarwal, which is very nice book, which is very easy book. You can find that every question is coming from that book. So we are going to see or we will share the soft copies of that book with all of you, so you can understand how to prepare or how we will go to the physical chemistry. Okay, now the last part, that is organic chemistry. So the chapter number 1 is that IUPAC, and I think if you are MSc qualified, then it's okay. You can go for the IUPAC nomenclature and all those things. These are very small questions they are asking on based on IUPAC. So I think IUPAC is okay. You can do it on your own. But if you have any doubt, I will suggest some books. You can cover that syllabus from that book. Okay, and also I'm having that soft copy. So I will give you the best guideline for IUPAC nomenclature. The next part, that is principles of stereochemistry. Okay, this part will be conducted almost everything from stereochemistry. Stereochemistry, understanding the stereochemistry is very important. If you don't have the knowledge of stereochemistry, you can't go for the competitive examinations, because stereochemistry nowadays you can find that that in every organic question they are asking about stereochemistry. first priority goes to the product, and second priority you have to go with correct stereochemistry. So stereochemistry part is very important. You can use Eli book, Nasipuri, PS Kelsey. These three books are very easy to understand. You can understand each and everything: configuration, conformation, then stereogenicity, stereoselectivity. All these things you can cover from that book. Okay, next chapter, that is aromaticity. I don't think so aromaticity is very difficult. You can do it on your own, because aromaticity we are studying from 11 12. So aromaticity, but for that aromaticity we will take some examples of aromaticity. Surely we will take some examples. Next, organic reactive intermediates. Okay, so organic reactive intermediates, in which carbocation, carbanion, carbene, benzenes and nitrines. So from this chapter, you can find that alternatively they are asking question on carbene, benzene and nitrine, and mostly nitrine. Okay, so we are going to discuss the name reactions in which these intermediates are going to form, and we are just going to see the basics related to reactive intermediates. So this chapter we are going to cover. So next chapter, chapter number 5. Yes, sir. Organic reaction mechanisms involving all the reactions: addition, elimination, substitution reaction, electrophilic, nucleophilic, and radical species. So this part, I think this part is very easy part. You must know what is addition reaction. You must know elimination, and I think everyone knows that all these reactions. So this is just for general studies. Questions are not coming from that, but related to such type of reactions or mechanism, they will ask the question. So you can read. We will not discuss that much, but in within 10-5 minutes we can discuss the addition, elimination, substitution reactions. Okay. Okay, now next, chapter number 6, which is very important: common name reactions and rearrangements. All of you know the book G. Jackley and Munday. G. Jackley, have you heard about the book G. Jackley? Munday?
Yes.
Okay, so these books are very important. Why they suggest the common name reactions? That every reaction is very important. Say for example, nowadays so many drugs are in market. Paracetamol, caffeine is there, then telmisartan is there, then so many drugs like related to blood pressure, sugar, heart, neurological drugs, some drugs which are related to like antibiotics are there. Okay, so many drugs are there. And why the name reactions are very important? The name reactions are the basic key to develop the drugs. You can find that in your MSc, they are giving us the drug development or drug analysis or synthesis of any drug. So in that synthesis, you can find that the single step is from some name reaction. This is the name reaction. This is the name reaction. So that's why the name reactions are very important. We are going to discuss this chapter in detail. For this, Carather, Nance, Claydon, M.B. Smith, Carrisonberg, all the books are very important from that point of view if you want to study it. Okay. Chapter number 7, organic transformations, FGI, then oxidation, reduction, okay, catalysis, and some organometallic and enzymatic reagents. So this part is like your you can say you have to use your knowledge, except that oxidation reduction. Other part is related to your knowledge. Whatever you are reading, what we are doing at a MSc level or whenever we are preparing, we are just reading related to straightforward things, but we are not thinking about the chemoselectivity, radioselectivity. So that's why this part is very important. So we are going to discuss this oxidation and reduction with all the reagents which are very important, and along with that some part that is chemo and radioselectivity. Okay, and stereoselective and stereospecific reactions. Next, chapter number 8, concepts in organic synthesis, retrosynthesis. Those are from Pune University. They all know that everything is covered in their MSc Part 2 syllabus, organic students. So retrosynthesis is very easy task if you are studying, if you know the synthesis. And disconnection synthons linear convergent synthesis. From this point we are just going to discuss the Ompolang, we are going to discuss the synthons and the synthetic equivalence. The rest of part we are not going to discuss, because it's not necessary to go through each and everything, because you are going to study the name reactions. You can understand the synthetic routes, and it's not necessary to go for the retrosynthesis. They will ask on the synthetic equivalence and the umpalong of reactivity. And the last point, that is protection and deprotection. So protection and deprotection we will discuss in detail. Okay. Now, chapter number 9, that is asymmetric synthesis. So this chapter is like we will suggest some questions, we will suggest some reagents, and you have to go through that. And asymmetric synthesis you have to prepare on your own. You can refer the stereochemistry books for this, or Claydon Carruthers. In those books you can find the questions related to this. But asymmetric reagents we will discuss. We will give the list of the reagents along with their applications, so you can understand the asymmetric synthesis. Chapter number 10, that is pericyclic reactions. So this chapter will be discussed from all the reactions like electrocyclation, cycloaddition, sigmatropic rearrangement, and related all concerted reactions. So we are not going to miss anything from pericyclic reactions, because pericyclic reactions, they have weightage. They are asking for 20 to 25 marks in your final exam, CSIR exam. So many questions are coming from pericyclic reactions, even though they are very small questions. But once you understand the pericyclic reactions, you will secure your 10 to 15 marks at least. Okay. Next, synthesis and reactivity of heterocyclic. So for heterocyclic, from my side, I will suggest some books: Joule Smith, and Packwaite. So these three books are very important for the heterocyclic chemistry. But I think if you want to study the heterocyclic chemistry, just go through the name reactions of heterocyclic chemistry. They are asking question based on the name reactions. Okay. And you know the name reactions like like pyrrole, pyridine, all the synthesis, quinoline, isoquinoline synthesis. So for that, whatever the required books I have suggested, you can take. If you don't have, we will share the soft copies. But heterocyclic chemistry, where we will just see the reactivity of electrophilic aromatic substitution reactions, not that much in detail. So this part is belonging to you. If you want to do, you can do, otherwise you can keep it as it is. Okay. Next, chemistry of natural products. This is also it's not necessary to go through in detail, but just for understanding, you can read the carbohydrates, proteins, and peptides. One question I would like to share, that from the proteins and peptides, they are asking the question based on the Edmond degradation. Okay, so Edmond degradation, again in nucleic acids, degradation of nucleic acids. So these two questions they are asking. Alternate exam, in your alternate exam, you can find that the question based on the degradation reactions. Okay. And some part from the your carbohydrate, that is Killian Fischer synthesis kind of reactions. Okay. So we will discuss the Edmond degradation. Rest of the part, please go through it. And the last chapter, chapter number 13, that is spectroscopy. So for it will not require that much time for spectroscopy, but within 2 lectures we will finish the spectroscopy. Especially we will discuss the IR, H1 NMR, and C13 NMR. Okay. And the important fragmentations only, not in detail all the functional groups, just important fragmentation. So books from my side, I think you have to use the Carruthers, you have to use Claydon, you have to use Nance, Carrisonberg, MB Smith, and Elail. Indian authors like Ahluwalia, P.S. Kalsi, Nasipuri, uh, Jagdamba Singh. So such type of books are more than enough. Okay. So this is what we have to cover up in next 20-25 days. So if all of you are interested, we will start it soon, as the syllabus is very vast. And one more important thing from my side, that I think the question paper will be very easy as compared to last 3-4 examinations, because CSR, as I have seen that so many scientists, they are saying that the students are not ready for the examination, as because of the very big time gap, they are not ready for the examination. So they may give the paper which will be very easy. Okay, so this crash course will definitely helps you to cover everything. Okay, so here I will stop and hand over to Dr. Vikram Pandit. Sir, please go on.